We need to talk about that Donald Trump press conference today. Something that you've probably seen at least a part of because it's just taken over the internet like wildfire. They're focusing on a number of things, including an apparent name change.
We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. The Gulf of America, what a beautiful name. And it's appropriate.
Sure. Why not? Especially because while that was like the most viral online, that was like the least jarring thing for a number of people. And arguably the thing that should be getting more attention is Trump saying that he will not rule out military force in the Panama Canal and Greenland. The idea that a Trump-led United States would take over those places, those are not new to Trump. And when asked about it today, we saw this.
Let's start, if we could, with your references to Greenland and the Panama Canal, so forth. Can you assure the world that as you try to get control of these areas, you are not going to use military or economic coercion?
No, I can't assure you. You're talking about Panama and Greenland. No, I can't assure you on either of those two. But I can say this. We need them for economic security. The Panama Canal is vital to our country. It's being operated by China. China. And we gave the Panama Canal to Panama. We didn't give it to China. And they've abused it. They've abused that gift. It should have never been made, by the way.
And then when Trump was asked about Greenland again later in the presser, he said,
well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it.
With President-elect Trump then saying that he'd hit Denmark with high tariffs if it interfered with efforts to get Greenland to join the US. Also, while we're on this topic, we should also talk about Canada, which Trump has his eyes on.
Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force, because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. But why are we supporting a country, 200 billion plus a year? Our military is at their disposal. All of these other things, they should be a state.
But then also another big moment is when he discussed the hostages.
If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone.
And, you know, with all this, I'm going to link to the press conference down below. It was over an hour long, so really I'm just hitting on some of the highlights and the parts making the most headlines. Which I will say, on that note, like regarding the reactions, they're all over the place. Right? Many news outlets have been characterizing his statements as outright threats to countries like Denmark, but then some outlets just running articles giving more context. The likes of Reuters publishing one titled, "Can Trump Buy Greenland?" And there, noting that the country's prime minister, who recently has stepped up a push for independence from Denmark, has repeatedly said that the island is not up for sale and that it is up to the people to decide their future. You also then had Democratic politicians pushing back against Trump for focusing on some of these issues, with the likes of Representative Hakeem Jeffries writing, "House Democrats are focused on lowering the high cost of living in America, not invading Greenland." And then, regarding his comments on Canada, you had Justin Trudeau saying there isn't a snowball's chance in hell that Canada would become part of the United States, and saying workers and communities in both our countries benefit from being each other's biggest trading and security partner. And so yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts on all this. Let me know your thoughts in those comments down below as we head to Inauguration Day in just 13 days. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this clip from the full Philip DeFranco show. And also, a big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring our Clips channel. Turn your passion into profit over at squarespace.com/Phil, or use the QR code. Because whether you're launching a business or a lucrative side hustle, your website is your digital business card. It's the only space where you control the story, no algorithms or distractions. And with Squarespace, it's so easy because they got a ton of stunning professional templates with drag and drop editing that makes site design incredibly simple, no coding required. So get started for free at squarespace.com/Phil, or scan the QR code on screen and use code Phil for 10% off when ready to launch. Squarespace.com/Phil.